Hey guys, this is FPL Tips and welcome back to another live stream. Just let me know if you guys can hear me clearly and the video is perfect. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we'll slightly take the uh, team questions and the team review and team transfer session questions later because there are some other important topics we need to put light on, especially the double game week topic. So we'll kick off with that topic and then later on we can do the suggestions. So just hold on to your transfer questions for a while. Okay, for everyone who does not know, game week 19 is a double game week, and game week 18 is going to be a blank game week. So quickly take a look on the teams that are going to play in game week 18. So clearly, 10 teams are blanking here, which consecutively have a double game week in game week 19. So okay, first of all, first suggestion that I have for everyone who's planning for double game week 19 or 20 and who does not have a wild card, hold on to your transfer this week if possible. I say this because the Aston Villa game and the United game can be put into the game week 18 slot. If that happens, then the entire need to free hit is just removed. So maybe you having two transfers next week will help a lot. That is the exact strategy that I'm going with this week. So I'll be making no transfer to my team unless and until you have an injury concern or you have a player who's not going to play. Use that transfer. If you can put your 11 this week without a transfer, I would suggest you to do that. Second, now there are two strategies you can go with. Ones who have a wild card will obviously play wild card in game week 16, and then they'll free hit in game week 18, and then bench boost in 19. This is a very good strategy because I usually like to play my wild card just before my bench boost so that I can maximize the number of players I have in my team for the bench boost. But for the players who do not have a bench boost just like me, now I'll show you my team. Now I have to make three transfers prominently to use bench boost in game week 19, which has to be steer out for someone, Mitchell out, Burke out. So now Mitchell and Burke are still okay because Burke is starting to playing, so I can adjust with that one fixture. Mitchell has to go to Alioski. I feel like if Alioski is not playing, if he continues to playing and he is not subbed off by then Mitchell to Alioski is a good move, or Mitchell to Furlong is someone I'm looking at. West Brom are under a new manager now, so there is a chance that they're defensively good. Also, we've seen that Furlong scores that odd goals for West Brom. I know they have a tough fixture there, but if you're going for bench boost, I want to take those punts. I could take Furlong because he's cheap and easily replace it by Mitchell. With Steer, I think Steer to Sanchez is the easiest move because Sanchez is the cheapest and I think he can retain his position. But then you'll have to wait for that transfer till probably game week 17 or 18. That is the reason I'm slightly put off bench boost right now. The other way you can go is you can actually make your transfers according to your bench boost team, which we will put into a video later on, and then you can use wildcard later. I would definitely not recommend doing wildcard in game week 17, which is when you get your new wildcard, and then free hit in game week 18 and bench boost in 19. That is losing three of your chips just before half of the season is over. So make sure you're not doing that strategy. Free hit, I think, is the likely time to use it right now, either on the bench in either in the double game week or the blank game week. But mind you, there's going to be another blank game week around game week 29, which I am very sure of, where teams like City, United, Chelsea, and every other team will get blanked. We'll get to know about this in next week. Hence, I'm asking you to save that transfer because if there's a change of plans, suppose you don't want a free wild bench boost, wildcard, or free hit in game week 18 or 19, so that allows you to make a huge transfer with having two transfers in hand, and it is very essential you not waste your transfer this week. So those are two strategies you want to go with. My chip strategy at the moment is I am going to hold on to my transfer. I think I'm going to use my free hit for game week 29. I know it's going to be a bigger blank than this one, where up to only four teams or maybe eight teams, four matches or eight teams will play. So I'm definitely not using my free hit in either of the games. If I can field, if I think I can put a bench boost team in game week 19, I would go for it. Otherwise, I think I can easily go with putting out 11 players or 10 players with double game weeks in game week 19, and just if Manchester United is put into game week 18, that would just sort out all of my problems and I can go with both of the game weeks without using a chip. Triple captain is a good option if you're not bench boosting in game week 19, especially. I think both Bruno and Salah provide good captaincy options then. But personally, I will hold on it to the chip for the later double game weeks because you know that the teams have more to play then than now. Especially at the end of the season, even the last game week, if you have a single fixture, the teams tend to score more. So that is essentially my chip strategy at the moment. Make sure there's going to be another blank game week 29, so don't waste your free hit in game week 18. If you can, if you can field about 11 8 to 9 9 players this in the game week 18 blank game week, it is totally good enough in my opinion. If you have any other questions regarding the double or blank game week, put it in the chat, and then we'll come to the game week preview and the transfer suggestions part. You cannot save 5 transfers. You will maximum save 2 transfers, and if you don't use 2 of them, they'll again get reset to 1. So the maximum you can save together is 2, and then you'll get reset to 1. Yes, if you can field a team for everyone who has a double keeper, it's very easy to field a team, the bench boost team in game week 19. As for the ones who have a wild card, definitely bench boost in 19, because then even if you go without if you want to change your team, you have another wild card in your pocket. So the game week 19 is a double game week. Yeah. Yes. Are you planning to play Kevin De Bruyne for the for both blank and double game week 19? No, I think I'll play him for the blank, and then I might remove him for someone like Salah or Bruno. So it's not necessary to use any of your chips this blank or double game week, right? Yes, I think I'm gonna take my way out of the blank and double game week without using chip, but I try to field 10 to 11 players who have a double game week in that particular game week. Saurav, if you have a transfer, if you're planning to, for everyone who is planning to bench boost in game week 19, it's not like it's not advisable. It's a good strategy. So make sure you make your transfers from now on, keeping in mind that the players who have a double game week. It's not necessary that all of your 15 people have a double game week, but when you're using a bench boost, try to keep at least 11 to 13 players who have a double game week. Neto in and WordPress out. If not really, because WordPress does have a double game week back then. So you want, even if you're not playing bench boost, you want those double game week players in your team. Dyer is a good pick without a doubt. Arvind, if you have a wildcard remaining, wildcard in game week 16, put a 11, put a 15 who has a double game week in game week 19. You can play a free hit if you want in game week 18. I don't think it's necessary free hit in game week 18, but you can if you want to, and bench boost in game week 19 for sure. I think I'm going to stick with Salah and Bruno as my premium players. I think I'm going to ship out De Bruyne for Son, or maybe downgrade De Bruyne to maybe WordPress or someone like that, and Adams to Kane. Yeah, I was going to ask a lot of people this question this week, that should we put face camp on the gaming previews and deadline streams? So no triple cap. I wouldn't triple captain in game week 19 because it's too less of a season. There's a chance of a rotation as well, so don't do that. Sun versus Kane. I think if you look at the eye test part, Sun is playing way too ahead, and Sun is definitely playing better than Kane at the moment. You look at the chances Kane gets, yes, those are the big chances, but I think overall Sun is edging if you look at the two of them for me. If you can't put around 12 players for bench boost with having a double game week, 11 to 12 players, then there's no point in my opinion. Then you can bench boost in a normal game where each of the teams have an easy fixture as well. Free hit for the blank game week. Yes, we'll put individual teams for free hit and bench boost and everything. There's going to be a video out possibly, so don't worry. But this is the overall plan that's at the moment for me, because next week there's going to be more news regarding Aston Villa, City, and United. So if you go concrete with your plan this week, and if suppose United have a match in game week 18, that entirely changes the plan for free hit. So there could be a situation where you don't have to use free hit in game week 18 anymore, and you can actually free hit in game week 19 to put 11 strong players and then move on. I think Zuma is fair enough. If you want to replace, I would have said James, but I think Zuma is good enough, especially now that he's in good attacking position at times. You cannot use two chips together, yes, so that isn't possible. How about Kilman to Jamal Lewis? Yeah, that's a fair move, but I would prefer Alioski because I think there's some goal threat as well with him at the moment. Okay, so everyone's saying face cam. Yes, we'll try doing that next week. Do we carry forward free transfers when we use free hit? No. Whenever you use free hit, all of your free transfers or transfers made in that game week will also go back to nil. So make sure you're planning your bench boost strategy very well. So if you want a free hit in game week 18 and then bench boost in 19, Your team in game week 17 should be exactly the same you want in your double game week bench boost team. Who to sell, Son or Grealish for Salah? Or Grealish for sure. The problem with Calvert-Lewin is the fact that if I sell Calvert-Lewin for to get in a player who has a double game week, I lose on a lot of value for Calvert-Lewin. So I might not, and he might be one of those players who I'll keep. I think Martinez and Calvert-Lewin will be two players which I'll keep having a single game for that double game week, and the rest of the team will have a double game week. Should I place Klitsch with Harrison? I don't need there's a side to side move required there, so you can hold on to Klitsch. Maybe Klitsch to Neto or someone like that. Yes, I would do it, but not to Harrison. If you have McCarthy and Patricio, I would downgrade Patricio to someone because that saves you a lot of money. Yeah, I would offload Vardy because I think if you don't have a need to, if you can afford someone like Kane, then do it. It's not like Vardy will not score against Tottenham. He has a great record against them. So does Kane. So it's not like that a goal cannot be possible there. But overall, I think Vardy isn't in the best form, and I would downgrade him to someone like Kings or upgrade to Kane. Yes, I think that you need more news, and that's why I'm saying you don't. If you save a transfer this week, it gives you a hell lot of time, which is next week as well, to analyze the fixtures, to think a plan properly, and then if United is placed in game week 18, I don't think there's at all a need to play your free hit there. Pulkit, you can check the fixtures. I think there are 10 fixtures. There are not 10. I think there are 6 teams who have a single game week or something like that. Thoughts on Pope? I wouldn't keep him. Martinez is providing the same number of points at lower value. Okay, I'm saving my transfer this week for sure. I don't think there's any dire need of removing anyone. I was planning to Robertson to Matip, but I think I'll hold on to the move, and that gives me an ample of information on Matip as well and on the double game week as well. So I'm definitely saving my transfer this week. Tillman replacement, anyone you can afford 4.5, Taylor, Dallas. There's Furlong if you want him for the double game week. I think Alioski is providing good value. And there's Kyle Walker-Peters slightly more expensive. Best captain option this week. Okay, we'll discuss the fixtures that happened last week and then we'll come to captaincy. Triple captain Salah works fine if you want to. Game week 19. Callum Wilson against Fulham is attractive. I wouldn't be attracted by the Newcastle attack, especially after Fulham putting good performances against Brighton and Liverpool. Oh no, you can play, Mohammed. You can just do not. There's no need to do a minus set. You can play Vardy if you have. Any news on Konsa? No news on Konsa at the moment. The manager said that he's ill and he could make it. If there's a late decision, then you might get some news. Other big news was that Lamptey is fit. I think Matip might be in the squad. It's too maybe the game is too early for him, but he's fit and he's back in training. Apart from that, I don't remember any big news, injury news. I think Hakim Ziyech and Cho are back in training, so they could have some game time against West Ham. Pep said that Kevin De Bruyne is essentially very important for us at this moment of the season, and he's not going to drop him, which also translates to that Kevin De Bruyne can be benched this week. Tarek Mitchell, should we keep him? If you're planning to bench boost, remove him for someone like Alioski or maybe two or for long, in my opinion. Rahul, who do I captain this week? I would go for Kevin De Bruyne or Bruno again. I think Bruno slightly more, but we'll have to see. And as soon as I saw Pogba playing, I knew that Bruno had to do all of that running. Bruno needs that to needs the double pivot behind him so that he can go inside the box a lot more, and Pogba doesn't provide that. So it again depends on a lot of the lineup. If Van der Beek starts, and Ole did quote that this is a very important game for them. So it could go two ways, where they could actually attack or they could sit back. But I don't think Leeds is a team which will allow them to sit back and absorb a lot of pressure. I think Leeds have the quality to go and attack and score goals. So I think there could be a chance for Bruno if there is someone like Van der Beek, Matic, or Fred, any two of them starting. If Pogba plays, then I think Bruno would not do good as a captain. But if Pogba is best, he's a great captain this week. Cavalier is a good budget option for the double game week. I think he's better than Suchek in my opinion. Would you remove Grealish ahead of game week 16? Yes, I'm planning to. I might remove. I might downgrade Robertson to Matip and then upgrade Grealish to Son. I have the money. I have 8 players for game week 18. Should I use free hit or not? I don't think there's any need of free hit. You can actually use a free transfer and then bring in 9 or 10 players for that game week. Who might, if Bruno has a match that week, that actually essentially solves most of our problems, because then you can play Bruno, you can put De Bruyne in place of Salah, and you can easily cruise through that game week without a free hit. I think Watkins hasn't been at the best of his form. I think Bamford and Adams both are performing better than him, especially Adams. And saw him play this week, and he looked really lively. So I would prefer Adams over Watkins. Although yes, Grealish was very unlucky to not score a 15 points haul. So it's going to be a good matchup against West Brom. For Fornells, you can probably get to downgrade Benrama. I think he's a good option going forward, or maybe WordPress. Apart from that, I would look at only Neto, but he has tough fixtures coming up. Curtis Jones, I think he's a good pick for the bench boost plan, but only if Yota is not fit. If Yota is fit, I don't see Curtis Jones playing a lot of matches. For a hit and captain Bruno, I mean Kevin De Bruyne is a good captaincy option this week as well. So I wouldn't hit and captain Bruno just for the sake of captaincy, especially because especially when you have Kevin De Bruyne as a captain option. Will Lamptey play? Yes, he will play in my opinion. Good options from Everton in midfield. No options, Akash, in my opinion. Just don't go that side. Bardin glitch out for Kevin De Bruyne. I would do that if I had to captain Kevin De Bruyne. No, El Ghazi is not better than Grealish. Everything flowing through that Aston Villa attack was through Grealish. In my opinion, he is the pivotal point in that team, and there's no way that he's going out of the team or someone is playing better than him. Start Webster if you have him, yes, but if you have better players, then start them. Should I give Werner one last game week or take him out for Kane? Kane. Definitely take him out for Kane. Will Barkley start the next game? Yes, he's very close. So the manager did say there is a chance that he could start that game. Benrahma, Bowen, Fornells, your pick. I think Benrahma looked the best and then Bowen. I wouldn't go Fornells and as he's playing way too deep. Benrahma is playing in the cam position in the number 10 role at the moment. I know WordPress is playing Man City this game week, and I mean every player will play the tough team eventually. So if you have a bench option, you can probably bench him, and if you're transferring him in, then make sure you're also thinking about the double game week essentially. Sun Cap against Leicester is a good captaincy option. I like Sun and King both for captaincy this week. Guys, hit the like button if you haven't already. Greenwood to Bruno and Vardy to Adams for a hit. Fair enough if I had to captain Bruno. Keep Cantona, transfer him out for Salah, or transfer out Werner first. Priority Werner. Take Werner out first. Would Cantona play this game week? Yes, I think there is a chance. There's more than a chance that City need him. So City need to win games if they want to contest for the title at the moment, and I think De Bruyne will play. Ravi won't. I wouldn't go Salah captain solely because of the reason that Salah is an early kickoff game. Defender for 6.4, I have Chilwell, Walker Peters need to replace Konsa. I would go Dyer, Matip, or Ruben Diaz. I know there's slight rotation now around Ruben Diaz possible, but I would go out of the three only. With Bolly injured, yes, there's a chance that Bolly and Dendonker both are injured. So this week there's a chance that Kilman starts. But apart from that, I don't see long term. And it's not like the injuries are serious with Bolly or Dendonker. So I don't see him starting long term. For -4, only Kane is a good replacement for Warner. McCarthy or Meslier this week? Meslier, I think, more safe in my opinion. Actually, McCarthy for more saves. Meslier might just not have a lot of chance for save points. Che Adams is definitely a good enabler. I think the problem with my team, if you look at my team, I have Bamford who has a double game week. I have Che Adams who also has a double game week and is a good enabler. Calvert Lewin does not have a double game week, but the problem with Calvert Lewin is his price point. Uh, if you look at my team list wise, his current price is 7.9. The selling price for me is 7.6. So I'm losing zero point 0.3. If by chance Calvert Lewin drops by zero point 0.1, in case, then I'm definitely going to sell Calvert Lewin for another striker, in my opinion. It also gives you a lot of more funds. but it all depends on his price. Unless I make a bold move and sell him irrespectively, I think the other two are mostly not irreplaceable in my team at the moment. If you have 2 weeks and have to make a punt, I would go zero in my opinion. How to use wildcard for Game Week 16 for blank or double Game Week team? Put it out for the double Game Week. For blank, probably use free hit in your case because then you can maximize on all three chips and all three game weeks. I don't see Johnstone starting regularly, but odd game weeks like against Southampton, I do see him starting. I have only 6 players for game week 18, but my team is well set. Should I do the transfers and bring in those players back again? Probably, if you have only 6 players, you can use free hit. And if your team is set, then there's no need to just go behind the blank game week. There's no point going there because there are mostly chances that the fixtures are not that easy anyways. Arsenal Crystal is not easy. Aston Tottenham is not going to be that easy. Only the City versus Brighton fixture is something that appeals me. Salah Grealish, should I captain? Out of the two, I would Sun Salah Grealish. I would go Sun. Who is Salah playing? I think he's a universal captain no matter what the fixture. The problem is the early kickoff, in my opinion. Bring Rashford in. You can if you don't have the funds for Bruno, and especially he was playing up top. So now that you have a wild card, I think in your hand you can definitely get him. Will DS start? He should ideally. If he did not make that own goal mistake, he would have definitely. But because of that own goal, I am slightly worried. Are you planning on either of Son or Kane or both for Game Week 18-19? I think I'm going to bring one of them. My initial plan was Son in for Grealish and Robertson to Matip. I might do that and also do, or maybe do Calvert-Lewin to Kane, and then I can easily ship out Kane to Vardy for the double game week, or maybe Werner. So let's see. I am going to get both of them in my team at the moment. I think if I had to re-rate my preference of the big hitters, I would rate Salah, Bruno, Son, and then Kevin De Bruyne, then Kane. So by that preference, if you want to make way for Kane, you can actually remove Kevin De Bruyne. It's not a big deal. Who to start, Zuma or Kufal? If you have already Chilwell starting, I think I still go with. I would take a chance with Zuma and double up on Chelsea's defense against West Ham. Downgrade Chilwell to someone like James or Zuma. I think he's not providing the value he should at his price. Yes, keep Ings for sure. I think he has a good couple of fixtures. Vardy plus Mahrez to DCL plus Bruno for a hit definitely will captain Bruno. I would do that because there's a lot of rotation around Mahrez. James or Chilwell? James. Fabianski, Martinez, Chilwell, Telles, Mings, Cresswell, Walker Peters, Mahrez, Son, Fernandez, Grealish, Saint Maximin. Saint is the guy you want to change Rochelle. Between Bowen and Watkins, whom to bench? I would bench. I think I would bench Bowen and take a chance on Watkins against West Brom. No, Joseph. I don't think Jesus is any more a good option for the coming weeks. One, he's playing way too deep. He has almost zero shots on target last game week, and Aguero's back fit, so I don't see him starting all games. Replacement for Cresswell, either Dyer if you want to go to side switch. If you want to downgrade, go Kufala in my opinion. Should I stick with Cancelo and roll the transfer or swap him for Reece James? I think you can stick with Cancelo for another game week or the next 2 game weeks. He start at least one of them. Salah or Son captain, I would go with Son this week. Uh, Inside 5 million, any five, I would go Walker Peters. I would definitely go Taylor. In my opinion, Dyer at 5 million is good. Kufal I would go for, and the fifth defender go with a budget defender. In my opinion, yes, Taylor to Justin is a good move in my opinion. Have Kane and Bruno. Should I bring in Kevin De Bruyne or Salah for Vardy? I would go bring in Salah for Vardy for sure. If you have Kane and Bamford, I would go Ings for Werner or go Adams if you want to save a lot of money. Kane and Bowen out for Salah and Che Adams for -4 this week. I wouldn't do it this week. Probably keep Kane because around the Christmas period he scores a lot of goals, and if he starts scoring hat-tricks, he'll keep on scoring them. I have DCL, Bamford, Ings as my forward. Could be tough to remove one of them. Yes, I think Ings to Adams is the easiest to do. Gonna try bringing in Rashi for Grealish and Richarlison, Che Adams. I don't really trust Richarlison as an asset. Auba will turn it around now. Trust me and invest in Arsenal. I wouldn't invest in Arsenal despite of that goal. Ziyech, if you have only two players for game week 18, just stick with your team if it's good and then play free hit there. Should I guess Grealish for Bowen for it? I would get him. I won't get him for free, but not for it because again, Grealish fixtures turn around really quick now, and then you might want to ship him out very soon. Cresswell, Konsa, Lamptey, Dallas, Mitchell, two free transfers to do Konsa to Kufal or Cresswell to Kufal and can't afford James. I would do Cresswell to Kufal because that saves me money, and then Konsa to Dyer if possible, or that would actually even allow you to do maybe Konsa to James. Kane for Vardy, even though I have Son. There's no need then, in my opinion, if you have Son. Cavaliero is a very good option because he's the one who's attacking on the Fulham attack on the counter. So I think he'll get more chances than Lookman. Will Giroud start? Nobody can say with Lampard. He's been very confused with his lineup. So can't really be very sure who's going to start up top. If Greece does not perform, I would go to WordPress or Neto and save a lot of money in that price bracket. I have Rafinha. Should I hold on to him or someone else under 7 million? I would switch him out. For even Grealish, I would actually go Zaha because Zaha is in form. Zaha to Mahrez, considering blank game week, I would do that. In fact, Zaha against Arsenal is not a bad option. Is it okay to have three premium midfielders like Son, Salah, Bruno, and Grealish, and the other two very cheap? Yes, that's what most teams have, in my opinion. Midfielders under 5.2, I think Lookman offers some value, and apart from that, Suchek. Otherwise, no one. Should I keep Werner because Chelsea might switch? The problem is not Chelsea switching to a 4-4-2 or something. I think Lampard pretty much very said that he's going to play Werner on all positions because he's played like that in Germany, but doesn't really make me confident of him as a pick because he hasn't been in a goal scoring form. If he was in form, I would definitely keep him, but then he's not scoring goals on the easy chances as well. So I wouldn't take a chance on him because especially because his price is 9.4. Welbeck for captaincy this week. Wouldn't do that for sure. I meant Rashi for Grealish and Che Adams for Richarlison. Junaid, do that. Who's my captain? Okay. Will Mare start? I can't say who's my captain. Yes, that I can say. I think my captaincy is between De Bruyne and Bruno again. I am very highly inclined towards Bruno at the moment. I will just chat up with my friend who is a United fan, and I think if there is any news of the formation of maybe Pogba being benched or something like that, I would, without hesitating, captain Bruno. I think he's the best because with Leeds you have to score on the counter. I think Bruno will be very essential at doing that. Watkins long term, I don't think is worth keeping. Chris Wood or Adams? I think Adams is the guy. Adams or Dyer, who to get? Those are two different positions made. I think you need to prioritize your uh, transfer. I think Adams, if I had to, because I really trust attack more than defense at times. Ideal defense, if you had the funds, I would actually go with DS. I would go with James, Matip, and Dyer. Those four are the ideal defense for me. Or either of one of Matip or Dyer, not if not both. I don't think Zaha will blank against Arsenal. Should I sell De Bruyne for Salah? Not this week, but next week for sure. Kevin De Bruyne, Son, Kane, who to captain? I would captain either of Son or Kane. Play Rafinha or Adams or bench them. Play Adams, in my opinion. Good downgrade for Bowen. Is it worth keeping him? I think he's worth keeping because he is attacking. So it's not like West Ham have very tough issues coming up. I think his price is not that high as well. So I think he's a good budget option in the midfield. Son, Kane, Salah, Kevin De Bruyne, who to captain? Either of Kane, Son, or if you had to go apart from them, Kevin De Bruyne. Dallas or Kyle Walker, Peter, who to bench? Tough call, mate. It could go either way. I think Dallas. It's 50-50. Honestly, it's 50 because both have tough fixtures, and it's not like both will not concede. If I had to take a chance, still I would go Dallas because there's a chance that United park the bus and don't score. Burnley strikers like Wood are good options. I don't see them good options because yes, they will score one goal in the odd fixture, but they won't score more than one usually. Should I get Marshall? Looks sharp against Sheffield United. I would wait for another game week before getting in Marshall. Best cap and vice captain in your team: Son, Grealish, Kevin De Bruyne, Vardy, Kane. Either of Kane or Son as captain and Grealish vice captain, in my opinion. Free hit over bench boost in Gaming 19 fair strategy, yes. And you can actually use wildcard and bench boost. Realize that using wildcard plus bench boost is a better strategy than just going randomly into bench boost for. And also, remember this point. You have 5 game weeks to now plan for the double game week 19, but then you'll also be stuck with a second keeper. You'll also be stuck with a fifth midfielder and a fifth defender, which you don't want beyond that point. And then you will have to again use your transfer to ship them out and ship get funds. So you need to have a strategy after that as well. Or the second part, you can either use your free transfers again to ship funds out of them, or you can go wildcard. But again, you'll have to use your wildcard way too early in the season, which I don't really find useful, because now you can neither place your best 15 for the bench boost, neither you can actually take value out of them. Should we go without any city attack considering their fixtures? Irrespective of the fixtures, I think the form is a very big concern to me at the moment. And yes, I think you can go with either of Tottenham assets, and definitely go with Liverpool and United asset Bruno. Justin probably hold for a couple of more game weeks and then move on to, with his price back, and move on to Dyer. Adams versus City or Suchek versus Chelsea, who to bench? I would bench Suchek. I still trust Adams and I would play him. Replacement for James Rodriguez, I have already have Grealish son Bruno Bowen. Zaha, I think, is a very good ideal replacement at that price bracket. Ravi, don't captain Salah, because I think first of all there's a chance that he's rotated, and also that Liverpool are tired. Secondly, Crystal away is not an easy fixture. It's never an easy fixture. Yes, he's a captaincy option, but in my opinion, my personal opinion, I don't really find Crystal away as an easy fixture. Thirdly, it's an early kickoff, and I really don't trust the early kickoff. So if I had to captain Salah, even if he was against the easiest team, I would never do that. Can trust Brighton's defense against Sheffield. Actually, Sheffield United did attack very well, but I can, in my opinion, I think we can trust them. Zuma, Taylor, Lamptey, Konsa, Justin, who to bench? I think Konsa, because there's a lot of illness news and there's no guarantee, and maybe Justin. I would play the rest three. Should we keep Mahrez long term? No. Captain Kane or Salah? I would go Kane. I 50-50, but I would still go Kane. Yes, guys, if you haven't smashed that like button, go and smash the like button. I don't think United would park the bus. They always go for the goal. They never go for the goal in the big matches or derby, and that is the problem with United. I think they had a very good chance against City as well, and they parked the bus. Remove Mate for Cresswell. I won't do that. Definitely. For Kufal to save funds, maybe, or Dyer. I won't remove Mate because Liverpool will eventually get those clean sheets. DCL out too soon. I think it's too soon. If I had to remove DCL, I would do it only for the double game week. Should I buy Maguire for this game week? Maguire has great header on the balls, and Lee's always concedes with set pieces. I think Bielsa did acknowledge this, that we are, as a team, are conceding a lot of chances through set pieces, and we want to improve that in the training pitch. So there's a chance that maybe actually Leeds have a plan to tackle the set piece issue. I can downgrade Vardy to someone 6 million forward and get Fernandes in for forward pros. We'll have a front two lines of Son, Kevin De Bruyne, Fernandes, Grealish, Rafinha, DCL and 6 million forward, Bamford. Uh, Vardy to Kane for captaincy as well, but I fancy Fernandes more as a long-term pick. In my opinion, against Leicester also he'll be very useful. Triple captain picks for double game week 19. I think there are only two standout picks. If Pulisic is fit, he is also a differential pick. But I think if you had to triple captain someone, I wouldn't go past Salah, and I would only trust Salah for my triple captain. Maybe Bruno, but he if he did not have a game week against Liverpool, I would trust Bruno. But I think overall Salah. Was there a price rise for Salah? Yes, there was. He's now 12.4. Salah, Mane, Vardy, or Son. Maybe Son, or then if you don't have any option, Salah. Salah is always a safe bet. Don't worry, guys. If you have Salah, you can actually captain him. But because I'm slightly tried to tend move away from the early kickoff, and Crystal is usually a tricky fixture. It's not a very easy fixture. Salah does score against them, but not very easy, to be honest. Lamptey or Lewis to start? I would start Lamptey. There might be no watch along this weekend, and there might also not be a deadline stream tomorrow. So I will keep you guys updated. I will be answering the questions on Instagram, but there's a chance that there's no deadline stream tomorrow. Is Werner rotation risk? I don't think there's rotation risk around him, but he's not in form. Maris to Sun this week or wait? I would do this. I would do the transfer this week for sure. Have two free transfers. Should I get Vardy and Werner? Who should I get for Vardy and Werner? Get Kane and Ings. I think that would perfectly fit the budget as well. Yes, always keep the City defenders in your playing 11. If they don't play, they won't come on as a sub unless there's an injury. Between Son, Bruno, and DCL, who to captain? I think Bruno. Zuma, Taylor, Lamptey, Konsa, Justin, who to upgrade for a free transfer? I have Son, Salah, Kevin De Bruyne, and Kane. I would upgrade Justin to maybe Dyer, and that's it. I think there's no need for another update, Aditya. Want to loosen on the purse a bit, moving out Bowen. Any suggestion in the 5.35? Only Suchek or Lookman are the two suggestions, and they don't provide you that value that Bowen does. Benedict to Kufal and bank another transfer. Yes, I would do that. Maxilex, McCarthy or Martinez to start. I would start Martinez. Any upcoming price changes? Cap, Sun or Kane? I think both Sun and Kane. I think are going towards a price rise, and between Sun and Kane, go with the midfielder always. De Bruyne to Salah, yes, it's a good transfer. Not this week, maybe because Crystal is not an easy feature. You can actually go for it. We could be all of us could be totally wrong, and then Salah could bang a hat trick because he is that kind of a player. But going by the fixture, I find Crystal Palace slightly more trickier than Southampton at the moment. I have Chilwell, Robertson, Dyer, Lamptey, Struge, Salah, Kevin De Bruyne, Bruno, Bowen, Romeo, Bamford, Che, and DCL. What changes should I make so that I won't have to use free hit in game week 18? Man, that I have to look into your team a lot, but only you can decide. If you can field 8 players, Pritesh, that could be okay. Charlie Taylor for Justin this week or Bank? Uh, I think Bank. 7.3 million best pick. If you had slightly more budget, I would say Zaha because I think he's 7.4. It's 7.5. So I think if you have some funds, go there. Your take on Bowen for the double gaming. Actually, if I had to pick from someone from West Ham, I would, if Antonio is fit, provided Antonio is fit, he provides the best value. But I would actually go for Benrahma. I think he would look way too selfish for an FPL asset, and he can actually score. But I'll take a later. If I had to, I'd take a later call for them after the Chelsea game because both Bowen and Benrahma are providing almost similar value, and Benrahma is cheaper. Will Ryan start Game Week 14? I don't think he'll start. If I had the money, if you don't have the money, go for Sanchez, obviously. But if I had to go, I would go Martinez or McCarthy for sure. Chances of Mahrez playing, yes, there's a chance of him starting this week. Uh, if Lewis gets -1, we triple captain him. Should we get -3? Yes, he will get -3. I don't think Ryan will start. But the problem with the manager Potter is that last time as well he said that Ryan wouldn't start and Sanchez has nailed his place in the team and again he started Ryan. He's very fickle-minded with his team selection and you can't be very guaranteed with the team he'll put out. Should I get Dyer in for James this week or give James one more week? I think I'll give James one more week. Is Solly March a good option for the next couple of game weeks? Wouldn't go Solly March. He's in midfield. I think he's not going to get the defensive points as well. Maybe Gross. I think he's a better option. Or Trossard. Can I keep three minimum? Two options are Dyer, Kyle Walker, Peter Dallas, Justin Samedo. Play Samedo, Dyer, and between Kyle Walker, Peter, Justin Dallas, I would play Justin. Two defenders to own for the upcoming fixtures around 5 million. I have Cresswell, Chilwell, and Robertson. I would go Dyer, I think, and downgrade Cresswell to Kufal. I am definitely going to lose Kevin De Bruyne. I don't see the potent attack City used to have last season. I think Son, Salah, Bruno are providing better value, and he's almost I think 11.9 if you look at his current price. So it's not like you're saving money or something like that. I think it's a sell for me. Any replacements for Ward Pro? Should I keep him? Keep him. I don't think there's a dire need to replace him this week. Who to captain either Bruno or I think if you have Son or Kane them. If you don't have any of them and if you're very confused, go with Salah. Salah is usually the very safe captain pick. What's wrong with City attack? They aren't attacking really well and they're not finishing off chances. I mean, against West Brom, they should have won 4 or 5-0. But again, if they're not attacking against the easier teams, I don't see them scoring a lot against the big teams. I think they will score against probably Everton and Newcastle. But apart from that, no. So I don't see a lot of value, and especially Sun being 2 million cheaper than Kevin De Bruyne is providing way more points than De Bruyne. Yes, not with Castagna coming back into the team, with Ricardo Pereira coming back, I think Justin will lose his place. Would you consider to get in Sun for Kevin De Bruyne, Adams for Wilson? Adam Wilson is a tough call, but I would get Sun for De Bruyne definitely. Keep Grealish if he blanks against West Brom. Barkley's back though. I wouldn't keep him unless I would keep him unless I have to make. I have no other move to make. I would remove him for Sun. But if I don't have any, if I have other fires to put on, I would keep him in my team because I've seen him play and he's not. It's not like he's playing bad. So he is getting the chances. Just the team that is not finishing his chances. I think yesterday Traore and Watkins should have scored both a hat trick and he should have 6 assists yesterday. Which is better, 3-4-3 or 3-5-2? Depends on your teammate. This season, maybe 3-5-2 because there are a lot of budget midfielder options. Everton Arsenal prediction, I would go with 3-1 or 2-0 Everton. Aman, once Aguero starts playing, Kevin De Bruyne will get a lot of points, and then we can probably look at getting him. But at the moment, I'm not. Took DCL out before the Chelsea game for Ings. Should I bring him in? You should have never taken out DCL. I think maybe you don't have a dire need to bring him in this week or the next week as well. You can hold on to Ings. Your top three captains. Okay, yes, we can discuss this. My top three captains looking at the fixtures. Just give me a second. Okay, so if I had to go for top three captains, I would go with Bruno against Leeds for sure. I think either of Son or Kane for me against Leicester is a good captaincy option. I slightly am skeptical around De Bruyne, and if I had to, I would pick Pulisic as a very good captain against West Ham. Kevin De Bruyne or Bruno or Kane captain? Bruno. Ayush says Arsenal will win, hopefully, but I don't think so. I have Chilwell, Dallas, Mitchell, Kilman, Kufal, Grealish, Werner, Bamford, and Wilson. How can I get Kane and Son in my team? You have to sell Bruno Salah or Kevin De Bruyne to get them, mate. Pritesh, if you don't have 8 or 9 players, or maybe it's not necessary you have to play free hit, but then you'll be at a huge numerical disadvantage to everyone else because most of the managers around that period will play their free hit then. Uh, we can talk about this more in detail next week because then we will have an idea of who will have a blank game week in game week 29. So with the big teams who are having a blank in game week 29, I think it's better to use a free hit then because you will essentially have to keep your big guns in your team. But if most of the big teams are not having a blank then or some of only one or two of them are having a blank, suppose only just Manchester United and City have a blank, then I think I can just play free hit this week or maybe game week 19 to maximize the chip. Hence I ask you guys to maybe plan it next week because it gives you a lot more information by the end of next week. Start Torres or Mahrez. Patricio or Martinez. What transfers are you making? I'm not making any transfers. If you have a lot of money, Gavin, pick Robertson, not Trent. What's your total points? I don't remember my total points. If this year I have 50, so yeah, my total should be 770, I think. Top three defenses and attacks. Can't really say that for the next three because everyone around the Christmas period does really eventually score. I think City have the easiest fixture. Liverpool second have the easiest fixture, and then even with Arsenal, I would say Chelsea. Kane has scored 40. Yes, Kane has an incredible scoring record against Leicester. If you want to bring in Castagna, bring him later on after a couple of more game weeks. Maybe after United when they play Crystal Palace, probably. Who would you get, DCL or Ings, if you had to get this game week? DCL, if I had to. Who you think is should be a must pick this week for you? I think it's Bruno. Bruno or maybe probably Grealish. Kane to Vardy and Reece James to Justin for -4 because I have to sell James to have money to buy Kane. I wouldn't do that, especially bring in Kane who's playing against Justin. For a -4, definitely not. because that's also essentially meaning that either Kane blanks or you're also losing points on your clean sheet. Mathematically, don't do that, Akash. I have one free transfer this week. Who should I get in? Struge out of my team, or wait for the next week to get two free transfers? I don't think there's. If you don't have three playing defenders, then get Struge out. If you have, don't do that. Sir Grealish for Rashford. That's a good move. That's actually a good move if you have the funds. For Chelsea, I don't see a lot of rotation. Maybe get in ZH as soon as he's back, or play Tammy. But apart from that, I don't think they'll rotate much. I think Suchek will be able to take advantage of Chelsea's inability to defend set pieces. If Thiago Silva is playing, no. If he's not, yes, I think Suchek will hurt us a lot. Okay, so we don't have much questions. We'll look at the game week review if you have to. Salah, Grealish, Bruno, or DCL. Who should I captain? Bruno. Okay, so Chelsea Wolves, we watched the game watch along, so there wasn't a lot of to talk about. Chelsea were horrible all over the pitch. No attack, no intent to attack. Pulisic was the only good guy playing that game. Werner horrible. I think Chilwell was decent as well. Nothing apart from that from the team. Havertz is too slow and he isn't at the best of his form, so wouldn't go there as well as an FPL point of view. Does guys? Does anyone know if Konsa will start? Nobody knows, mate. Do you think SP plays the odd games in the next 3-4 fixtures? Yes, I think. Play Dias for sure, even if he's rested. Play him in your 11. Okay, coming to the second fixture, Man City versus West Brom. Again, a very easy fixture on Man City. West Brom did put out a great performance for sure, but again, at least two assists should have been there for Kevin De Bruyne in that game. For somehow the City attackers were not shooting well, and everything was going exactly to Johnston. So I think Kevin De Bruyne was lucky in comparison to the Bruno pick. Yes, he was much better. I think he got the two bonus point as well. Arsenal Southampton. I did see some attack from Arsenal after a very long time, but I wouldn't invest in Aubameyang even for the double game week, even though he has two easy fixtures. Southampton, yes, again look potent on the back. I think they will still concede a couple of goals each game, but their attack looks good in terms of Ings and Adams, especially Adams. Leeds versus Newcastle, I can take only one takeaway. When you have the City versus Newcastle game, I think Newcastle will be thrashed by City, in my opinion. And Leeds were very good attacking wise. Bamford should have more than the only goal, but again, there were a lot of more players inside the box alongside him. Leicester Everton did expect the exact same fixture to happen. Leicester are not a great defensive team. A lot of people are criticizing the buy hold side post where I put in caption that Leicester are not a difficult fixture for Tottenham, which is true. I think Leicester are not the most difficult fixture for them or the toughest fixture. Should be an easy walkover. Leicester had their problems. They were try to sit deep and attack, but again, Vardy not in form, Barnes not in form exactly. Fulham Brighton, I think I didn't watch the game, but was a very boring one. When I looked at the highlights, there was no player I would pick up from that team. Even Cavaliero did not look that great. Liverpool Spurs, very easy game for Liverpool. I think Tottenham did have those chances, and if they had the Bergeron goal, it would have been a different story. But again, that makes me also think that Son is the only person who's attacking first for the ball. So between Kane and Son, on the eye test part, I think Son is looking very much better, but Kane does get more big number of big chances through set pieces and everything. West Ham versus Crystal. West Ham did score a very good goal, but again, Crystal put them at bay, and Zaha was really exceptionally well. Also, slight chances that West Ham also score against Chelsea. So I'm going to put team rotation into place where I could actually bench James and play Lamptey this week. Aston Villa Burnley was totally unlucky for Aston Villa. I wouldn't be shy to even take a differential punt on Aston Villa for Grealish captaincy. And Sheffield United versus United, only one takeaway was that if Pogba starts again, Bruno will not be the best captaincy next week. Loris, Chilwell, White, Samedo, Son, Kevin Durant, Neto, March, Watkins. One transfer player, who would it be? I would take out March. There's no point of him having in your team. Should I take a -4 to remove Kevin Durant and get Salah? Not for a -4 this week. Thiago back till Newcastle this month or Southampton in first week of Jan. can't say because there's no news from Liverpool of what the injury is, how big the injury is, so can't really say that. Should I bench Vardy? Definitely not. If you have someone who's really that expensive, never bench him. If I take out Kevin De Bruyne for Bruno or Salah next week, who should it be? I think Salah. Which three defenders should I use this week? Lamptey, Dyer, Robert, Chilwell. Use the expensive ones in my opinion. Zuma or Vestergaard? Zuma. Okay, so we are done with the questions. My team looks pretty much sort when you look to go and pick my team if we don't have a deadline stream tomorrow. I think I might not play Lamptey against Sheffield or maybe trust him. I'm not really confident. I could actually bench Adams against for Lamptey. Maybe play a 4-4-2 tomorrow. And if in case James or DS or Lamptey someone doesn't play, I would have my automatic sub coming into play. I'm going to sell Vardy. Was thinking on Kane, but I already have Son or maybe a punt on Marshall. He seems a big confidence player. Yes, I think it's a good punt, Matt. If you already have Son, if I was in your position, I would take the punt on Marshall. Yes, I think I'll be coming on the 4-4 stream with a big rant if possible. Is Lamptey injured? No, I think he's fine. He had a knock, but he's totally okay. Kevin De Bruyne to Fernandes next week. Next week, for captaincy, maybe yes, but maybe Salah if you don't have Salah. Suresh, Salah is a good captaincy option always, but the only factor that comes into play is the early kickoff, and Crystal away is not always easy. If you have Bruno or Kevin De Bruyne, I would, or Son, maybe I would go on the other picks over Salah this week. More Bruno or Kevin De Bruyne. Bruno for sure. Lamptey is one of the best players in the Brighton team, in my opinion, to be honest. Okay, so that will essentially be my team. I think I might play a 4-4-2 because Adams has a very tough fixture against City. I think City will defend Adams. So I might play a 4-4-2 and change the formation a bit. Bruno, Son, or Kane. For captaincy, Bruno or Son, not between the two. I think I'm more Son pro than Kane for captaincy because of the fact that he's a midfielder and if he scores, he's going to get more points and also the clean sheet point. Midfielder for five, I think Suchek or Lukman. There are only two options that are actually playing and providing some value when attack. Thanks, Pritish. Any two players to target for game week 18? For 18, I think if I had to, I would take a punt on Sterling over Kevin De Bruyne for captaincy as well against Brighton because that is one fixture where Sterling always goes and does really well. The second would take is Grealish and Zaha. Is taking minus for every week worth it? No, it's never worth it in my opinion. Will update you guys for the Consa news. I think if I get any news, I will update you guys on the Instagram story. Shall I remove Son removing Kevin De Bruyne or remove Grealish and get Adams for Warner? That's a tough call. Maybe Son for Kevin De Bruyne. That was also my planned move this week, but Adams for Warner doesn't seem the move. That's too much of a downgrade, especially Adams playing City. I'm not going to cap De Bruyne. In my opinion, I'll cap Bruno. I'm more likely to cap Bruno. Lamptey is fit. Plays a or bench him. I think you would want to play him because I don't think you will have a better option than playing Zaha. Son or Kevin De Bruyne captaincy, tough call. It could go two ways, but I would take my chance on Son. Is Antonio fit or DCL? A fit Antonio or DCL? I would take a fit Antonio, especially because of the double game week. Mohamed Konsa is going to play hopefully, but if I get any news, I'll update on the Instagram story. Please follow us on FPL tips underscore underscore if you haven't already. Take a minus four and bring any replacement for Che Adams. Don't do that for a minus four. There's no need. Who will replace Stones? I have only 4.6. Play Stones this week. I think he can start this week even over Ruben Diaz. Tottenham to park the bus. I don't think they park the bus against Leicester. There's no need. Suchek or Neto who to start? This week I would start Neto. Grealish is playing West Brom. Still not good captaincy over Bruno. Not really, because it's not like Aston Villa are finishing the chances. Also, you know that Bruno is a proven asset, and he does usually score points. If I make a late decision on captaining Kevin De Bruyne, I'll let you guys know. Although I'm very confident on Bruno at the moment. Ings to Calvert-Lewin and De Bruyne to Salah for the two free transfers. Ings to Calvert-Lewin, yes, I'm not sure about De Bruyne now. Lineup news for LFC. I think we will get some lineup news for Liverpool tomorrow, not today. Cresswell to Dyer, I would do that. Warner over 6 weeks and sold him for a rage. Brought in Ings. Yeah, definitely better than having Warner. But you never know, Warner might score. But there's no point of holding on to him for 7, 8 weeks for that one odd goal he'll score, or maybe a brace he'll score in some game week. By Diaz, despite playing every week, he is the most nailed on defender. Even if he's benched this week, I expect him to start the next six after that. He's the most nailed defender from the City lineup. Kyle Walker, Peter, or Kufal, who to start? Kufal, because there's some assist chance there. Bruno or Salah? Bruno. Okay, Varun, thanks. And on that note, we'll wrap up the stream. If I'll put out my last minute thoughts and everything I have. If I'm not doing the deadline stream tomorrow, I'll notify you guys on Instagram as well. And if you haven't liked the stream already, hit the like button, guys. Replacement options for Vardy other than Kane and Bamford. Ings maybe not this week, and apart from that, Marshall is a good punt, and a lot of people pointed out in the stream as well. And you can look into the Marshall stats, and I think Marshall could be a good punt especially if you have wildcard. I would go there. If you were to consider a Liverpool defender, would it be Trent or Robbo? Pope or Martinez? Martinez. The problem, Juswin, is that I might be out of town due to some work, and I might not have my setup. If I had to do a 30-minute deadline stream, I might do it on Instagram if possible, but that also looks very unlikely. Bamford or Wilson? Bamford. Which City defender can you bring in this week? There you have to bring in DS, in my opinion. He's the only safe, but then again he might get rotated because of the own goal. Thoughts on Rodrigo from Leeds? Now I think he's not as good as an option like Bamford, but he's better than Rafinha. Will James Justin start? Yes, he will. Okay, so on that note, we'll wrap up the stream. Hope you guys like the stream, and this is FPL Div signing off. Cheers.